Hey guys, this is Jen Hersh with Crossroads Chiropractic and Wellness. I'm one of the on-staff corrective exercise specialists. And this will be the final one for right now of my workplace, basically fitness options. And what I'm really trying to encourage people to do is to look at opportunities throughout their entire workday to throw some activation, to throw some blood flow in, to throw in some movement to not only help with, cognitive, getting our body moving, right? Whenever we get our body moving, our brain likes it, right? So if you are feeling sluggish, if you're feeling stuck on a project, if you're feeling like things just aren't flowing the way you want them to, more than likely that's your nervous system and your brain's way of being like, bro, take a break, right? And instead of using that to, don't get me wrong, a little doom scrolling is not a bad thing, right? But instead of doom scrolling, what if we got up and worked on our mobility or worked on our body, right? So I've done push actions so far. We've done planks, we've done dead bugs. So if you're just now finding this video, feel free to go back on the channel and to check those out. Especially in the plank and the dead bug videos, we really talk about what core bracing should happen through a lot of these activities. Because in my videos, I talk a lot about like rib cage stacked over hips. And that's a really good neutral core position for most people. So if you'd like more direction on that and bracing, I'll have you refer back to those videos just for the sake of time. And as always, if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, you can always, book with me, ask your questions. I'd love to help. Most of the things that I show can be modified in a lot of ways. It's just too much to try to put it all in one video. So for right now, what I'm going to do is go through different pulling actions that can be done during your workday. Now, what is the importance and the significance of pulling actions? If you think about it, for most of us, everything we do, whether it's driving, whether it's at a desk, we're all here, right? Hopefully that's an exaggeration, but I've seen a lot, right? And the joke for me is always don't be a T-Rex, right? Because a lot of us even sleep this way. And I know there's a lot of like neuroatypical individuals, right? Neural spicy people, that this is actually a really natural go-to for them. And so if you think about it, even the resting state is here. And if that's the case, then your, lower traps, your rhomboids are not strong enough to counter a lot of the activities that you're doing, which can result in back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, right? Even some people pinching and numbing in the hands and the fingers. Now, if you're getting to that point, I'm always going to recommend, come get evaluated, please, right? But just waking up those mid-back muscles throughout your day can be a great way to go through and counter some of how much we're here, right? Now, most of the videos that I've done for the series do not involve really any props or tools. Today, I'm going to give you a variety of options, really kind of depending on your mobility and strength level. One of the most basic ones is just the ability to bring your hands behind your head and squeeze your shoulder blades. Now, what's important about this is you can see my ribs are actually flared out in front of my hips. So I want to kind of bring those ribs back, make sure I'm stacked to that neutral core, which is actually awkward feeling, and then be able to squeeze between my shoulder blades in order to bring my hands here. And I'm not winging back, right? I'm just at this really nice neutral. I'm not pressing on my head at this point. I'm just doing a pencil squeeze. Just a nice pencil squeeze and hold. And I picture feeling right through here. And I try to picture feeling it equally on both sides. That way I know that I'm getting as equal activation as I can. And what's beautiful about those visualizations and those focusing on those muscles is we're using our own neuroplasty to go through and be like, hey bro, wake up, right? Now, if you want to add some front neck stabilization with this one, you can get in this nice position here, rib cages over hips, right? I could feel my entire core. I'm going to squeeze between the shoulder blades, get those pencil squeezes. You saw that one shoulder wanted to go up, right? We're trying not to do that. And then I'm going to give a little push. Hands are pushing into the back of my head. Head is pushing back into my hands. And that's just kind of a nice wake everything up, wake some stabilization, keep your core with this, and really just sit in this, can I feel here to here with this? And you might get a little bit of here to here. Because if we can get these guys a little bit stronger, they'll help counter some of this pigeon necking that we have going on in these actions of hanging out at our desk. Now, there are no studies that say one particular posture is perfect for everyone. There's too many adaptation factors for every human to assume that one thing is perfect, right? But I can tell you that a body at rest is actually a normal thing for a body to want to do. So it's not good to just be like, oh, here, right? We want to get the body up. We want to get it moving. We want to get it shaking a little bit. We want to reset the core a little bit. And then we want to try to throw these actions in just to kind of shake it up because the body wants to be here at rest. That's natural. It's wanting to save us some energy, right? So I always say get up, kind of shake it out and move, then go into any of these activities that you want to incorporate. Another one of my favorites is actually a form of a row at your desk. Now, I don't want to come way behind, right? Because this is like pop in the chest kind of thing. I want to keep it neutral right here, right? I'm going to activate that tissue behind my shoulder blades, and then I'm just going to squeeze and pull to here. Squeeze and pull to here. And the trick with this action, the first one, I call these like surrender pencil squeezes, right? These I call like seated rows, right? Seated at your desk rows. There's a lot of different names out there. You can call it whatever you want. If you have some funny names for them, feel free to send them my way because that's way more fun. But I'm picturing that pulling motion coming from here. So I'm going to start there and then finish the action. And notice my head wanted to go forward, right? I don't want to do that. I want to try to make sure everything's here and my neck stays neutral. Now, do I want to be like robot stiff? No, I just want to be cognizant of where my body is in space. Those are two different types of mid-back activations. First one is just wake them up. This one is, can I actually get some pulling motions going on? And just like anything body weight, right? You can change how difficult this is by doing it from different angles, right? For most people, we're not going to have a lot of equipment for us in office to work on stuff. Who's got time to also stop midday and like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to knock out a little bit of weighted exercise here in the middle of the office? Probably not an option, but getting mid-back activation throughout your entire day can help take pressure off of your neck. So let's say that this is real easy for me. Okay, couple options. One, grab your sweater or jacket. Hello, office workers, where it's always cold, right? And you could do the same thing. For me, I don't get as much mid-back activation when I'm hands up here. That tends to go to my neck. So I'm going to do underhanded. You may be the opposite. Both are correct as long as you're keeping it in that midline. So I'm going to create tension this direction and then pull. So tension across and then pull, right? Using your jacket, using your sweater. If you're one of those people like me, I'm lucky, I have bands here in the office. I can do the same thing. I can just throw this around a desk. I can throw this around something. Do it that way, right? Basically, playing with your angles, you got about a 15-degree window here of where do I feel it in my mid-back. As long as I'm not shrugging and as long as I'm not feeling in my low back, keeping that awareness here. Other options, you can always add gravity to this, right? If your core and low back are strong enough to support this angle, not everyone is, same thing. Just doing this mid-air for some people can be enough, or supported, right? Grab yourself a water bottle. Same thing. I'm going to take that mid-back activation. I'm going to think about squeezing between the shoulder blades and just doing this rowing action. Notice I'm not coming real far up here. I'm only coming as far as I feel stable and feel like I'm getting a really good pull. Those are all options that you can throw in during your workday in different positions, right? Just like always though, slowing down the tempo, adding pauses, increasing the amount of reps are great ways to add challenges to this without necessarily needing to increase your weight. Please, as always, do this to your tolerance. And if something feels weird or you feel like you're struggling with this action, message me, reach out. I'd love to help you incorporate this into your day and to help take some pressure off of some, sore neck muscles.